Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased that so many of you managed to brave the fog to be here, so we're not entirely on our own. What I intend to do this morning is to try and demonstrate that demonstrate the importance of cross-sectorial cooperation and approaches to sustainable development, as seen through the example of the cities. And more specifically, I would like to highlight the example of my own home city, Copenhagen. A city or a region cannot become sustainable unless it engages all sectors in its planning and development to become sustainable. And I think the capital of Copenhagen is an interesting international case because it has the very ambitious goal of becoming carbon neutral by the year 2025. First, a few facts about Copenhagen. It's a city with 1.5 million inhabitants, and of course it faces the same challenges as almost every other city in the world: an increase in population, high expectations of service of the city, limited budgets, and environmental challenges. So some of the goals for the next 10 to 20 years are 5% annual growth, 4% increase in productivity, and as I mentioned, to get Copenhagen as a carbon neutral city by 2025. Green, healthy, and creative growth. These are sort of key words. All over the world, growth is, of course, a main focus. But we do not only want economic growth, but we also strive for quality of life at the same time. The interesting perspective is that growth and quality of life are not necessarily opposites, but can be seen as preconditions for each other. The focus of the city of Copenhagen is on healthy, creative, and green growth in order to give the citizens the best opportunities to live healthy, meaningful, and long lives. Therefore, the main focus is on enterprises in growth sectors, such as clean tech, the clean tech sector, life science, and the creative industries. We live in a time with high demands on growing responsibility, and whether it is for the citizens or the environment. In Copenhagen, it has been realized that we can't solve every problem by ourselves. We have to be part of a bigger region in order to find new, innovative solutions. Copenhagen is part of a Scandinavian region with Copenhagen and Malmö as the two biggest cities. In the year 2000, we connected the two main cities with a bridge, and this has had a big effect upon the integration between the two countries. The region is Europe's largest university region, and we strive to be Scandinavia's business hub, providing optimum conditions for the international business sector and attracting international head offices as well as small, innovative entrepreneurs. And by 2025, the region will have 4 million inhabitants. In the next years, Copenhagen is going to expand the region to northern Germany. Copenhagen is establishing partnerships between Denmark and Sweden, and we are going to build a new bridge between Denmark and Germany in order to make strong relations between the citizens, the companies, and other actors on both sides. So the bridge will unite the three countries, Sweden, Germany, and Denmark, into one region. Copenhagen is also looking further out. Last year, it made a twinning arrangement with Beijing about developing green growth. Copenhagen is seeing rapid growth these years and in the future. And in the year 2020, Copenhagen will have increased the number of inhabitants by 20%. And at the same time, Copenhagen is facing this challenge together with the ambition, as I mentioned, of being the first carbon neutral border region by 2025. The choice of being a carbon neutral city has influence upon everything that is done in the city, especially relating to urban development. When we develop new parts of the city, whether it is revitalization of old industrial areas or new urban areas, it is full of innovative architecture due to our ambitious climate action plan. Copenhagen has, through collaboration of skills and know-how, succeeded in developing sustainable urban solutions that combine the environmental benefits with social and economic benefits. And in order to develop secure economic sustainability and urban life, areas with housing, business and commercial retail are mixed. And we create socially diverse areas with a combination of rental and owner housing to prevent segregation. Public transportation and infrastructure are of high priority in Copenhagen and are therefore essential to the planning process. The city is densified around facilities for public transportation to reduce the car traffic. So we are expanding our metro system with 19 new metro stations within the next 6 years. And we are concerned about developing the metro system in close coordination with urban development, especially regarding new areas. Copenhagen also has an ambition to be the biking city of the world. So our infrastructure is not only based on public transportation, but also on a large number of bikes. This is a very important aspect of urban planning in Copenhagen. We have invested heavily in uninterrupted cycle lanes and green waves so that cyclists can travel non-stop. We have 412 kilometers road only for bicycles, and 43 kilometers of these are green. The overall plan is to have a smart grid that makes it easy to get around the city on a bike or by foot or public transportation. With the biking lanes and the strategically planned facilities for public transportation, we call it the 5 minutes city. One of the influential architects and urban planners behind this is the internationally famed architect Jan Gehl, who is now very much in demand all over the world for converting car traffic into biking traffic. For example, in New York, you will find new biking lanes that he designed, and he's now called to Moscow as one of his biggest challenges to convert the traffic of Moscow into bikes. So you can see a typical parking lot in Copenhagen, not with cars, but with thousands of bikes everywhere. The old harbour becomes a new city. An example of developing new areas with respect for green solutions and quality of daily life is the northern part of the Copenhagen harbour, an old industrial harbour area. This will now be finished accommodating 40,000 residents and 40,000 workplaces. There will be canals, direct access to the waterfront, roof terraces, and urban spaces. The development of this area will be a laboratory for new green and smart solutions for the in-site production of energy and reductions in energy consumption. The long-term plan is to improve the energy system, such as sustainable district cooling and heat storage, and the goal is to develop new energy solutions that will help Copenhagen to reach the goal of being carbon neutral by 2025. In Copenhagen, the daily life and culture are as important as green solutions and growth. Creating a high level of quality of life is creating healthy and happy citizens and prevent diseases and so on. And an example is the harbour bath. Until recently, swimming in the Copenhagen harbour would have been out of the question. The water was badly polluted from industry and the city's old sewage system. But we have initiated a cleaning program which improved the water quality so much that it became possible now to swim in the harbour. That was back in 2002, but harbour baths are still an excellent example of a green, creative solution which gives joy and exercise to the citizens, promoting happy and healthy people. Today we have 3 harbour baths in Copenhagen. Furthermore, we have built 2 new beaches, so there is plenty of possibilities to swim in the harbour and the ocean, even in the winter, with temperatures as low as -10 degrees. Another example of combining the green city with the pleasure of the citizens is the urban gardens. In these gardens, the citizens get a chance to grow organic vegetables and flowers. The initiatives are often taken by the citizens themselves. In one part of the city, the citizens asked for the permission to use empty construction sites or empty spaces for urban agriculture, and they moved the gardens every year. The initiative has become so popular that it is permanent today, offering city dwellers a chance of being part of nature. If I should highlight some of the main points from our experience in Copenhagen, and with the examples I've just mentioned, it would be the following. 1, an overall strategy is crucial. We have to think green from the beginning. 2, creating a sustainable city is not only about using green solutions, but also to secure a social sustainability and livable city with healthy citizens. Therefore, a rich urban life, cultural activities, an inspiring research environment, and things like that are also important to have in mind when big plans and visions are formulated. And last but not least, cooperation across borders benefits everyone. We need to inspire each other in order to be innovative. Thank you very much.